Welcome to the On Deck podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann, ready to break down your daily fantasy slate on this Wednesday, August 10th. Exciting day today because it is National Lazy Day.
Sign me up.
It is
Kick
also
back, watch some sports.
National Spoil Your Dog Day.
Sign you
which
up.
in my household is every day. And it is also World Lion Day.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. I got some facts for you about lions.
Ooh.
Did you know that lions are the only cats that live in groups? Do you know what they're called? Prides.
Mm-hmm. I did know that.
Female lions are actually the main hunters.
Yep. It's interesting, isn't it?
Leave it to the females to do all the work. I'm just saying. And then...
It's all right with me.
And an adult male lion's roar can be heard up to 8 kilometers away. All right.
That's crazy.
That's some volume.
Yeah. That's pretty far away.
A male lion consumes 5,500 pounds of meat per year. It's a lot of meat.
Gotta meat.
High protein. It's on that keto diet.
Definitely a keto diet for him. We have some good storylines today, too.
Yeah, we do have some good storylines, especially since the first storyline we were going to talk about is San Diego Padres walk-off Manny Machado. How about it?
LFG San Diego.
They snapped their 5-game losing streak in dramatic fashion.
We never should have been in that position, though.
True.
Had or blew it.
True words. Yeah.
Manny Machado saved the day.
He sure did.
Because as he said a couple days ago, I am Manny effing Machado.
Tell him, Manny.
Yeah.
Also, good news. Tatis on his rehab assignment, double and a triple. He'll be being called up here shortly.
Pretty soon. It looks like
the
early
Padres
next
are
week.
fully operational.
Yep.
Also, Ohtani, once again, another accolade to his already historic career.
Yeah.
Tossed 6 scoreless innings to earn his 10th win of the season for the first time in his major league career. He joins the Babe as the only 2 players in AL/NL history to win at least 10 games on the mound and hit at least 10 home runs in the same season. The unicorn of baseball strikes again. The Orioles, how about this?
So crazy.
A half game out of a playoff spot.
I love this story and that they are playing this well.
It is pretty awesome. You know, trade away Trey Mancini. Hey, we don't need him.
And Jorge Lopez. I can't believe they were sellers at the deadline with how well they're playing.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Who's streaking? You might ask. Well, the Dodgers are 9-game win streak for them. The Phillies are on a 6-game win streak, and the Mets are on a 5-game win streak. They are playing right now as we speak, and they are up.
As we talk about my grandma on the pod occasionally. The other grandma is a huge Dodger fan, and she has been texting me and letting me know how good they've been doing nonstop.
Yeah.
No, it's a rough.
Family outings are interesting for you, being your family's Dodgers fans.
Yeah,
That's
it's disgusting. I tell them all they look fat in that color blue.
I mean, blue. It depends, like a navy blue or like a dark navy, perhaps pinstripes, slimming on everyone.
Yeah, right.
That kind of blue.
Except for Ohtani.
The other blues. I don't disagree with you there.
Yeah, Dodger blue, not slimming for you. It's not a good look.
Also, I guess I just realized that I'm wearing that.
I was actually laughing while you were saying
it.
I was laughing while you were saying it because I was like, oh really? Huh?
So we do have some weather notes to get to before we get to our slate for today. We've got Toronto at Baltimore. 70% chance of rain there. Definitely keep your eye on that one. Miami at Philadelphia, 85 degrees, 28% chance of rain. Another one you're going to have to keep an eye on throughout the day. We've also got Cardinals at Coors Field. And listen to this, 90 degrees and 11 mile an hour winds out to left. Ooh, things are going to be popping at Coors Field.
Sure will.
YouTube. Be sure and like, subscribe, and comment below.
If you're not on YouTube, if you're on one of the podcast networks, please give us a review. It all helps.
Thanks for listening to us. We appreciate it, and we certainly appreciate the comments, reviews. So yeah, let's get to our chalk report for today and our top owned pitchers to help you in your daily fantasy. We'll start off with the high owned pitchers for today. This is where the field is headed in terms of pitching. We've got Astros righty Justin Verlander going up against the Rangers today. He's 42% owned on DraftKings, 32% owned on FanDuel. I mean, what is there else to say about this guy who's got the best ERA in baseball, best record in baseball at 15-3, and he's top 20 in strikeouts?
Yeah, I mean, he's just pitching absolutely unreal right now. A sub-2 FIP over his last 5, and 29% K rate. He has 6 straight perfect lineups. He's insane right now. We have a 25% combined K rate on him today, a 4-star alert score. His StatCast data is a little sketchy, but I really wouldn't think too much into that just because nobody's hitting him. You know, he's missing so many bats, and with all that, I wouldn't look too much into that. But that is the one thing to look at with him.
Just 2 hits in 6 scoreless against the Guardians.
And that's my point.
And the Rangers, 21st in average against righties, 8th in strikeout percentage. So also a favorable matchup for him as well.
Yeah. It looks good for him. Rangers versus righties are meh.
Yeah. Phillies righty Noah Syndergaard. Thor's on the hill today.
Yes.
And there's storms in the area. Could that be the God of Thunder is going to strike today against the Marlins? 31% owned on DraftKings, 12% owned on FanDuel. 4.02 ERA and 2.58 opponent average. Not a great first outing for him as a Philly. He gave up 4 earned runs on 11 hits, 5 innings, but just 2 strikeouts for him in that one. But a favorable matchup for him against the Fish, who are 17th in average versus righties.
I do not understand the love with Syndergaard just because he changed teams. Last start, he was kind of chalky also.
Right.
He's been meh as a pitcher all year.
He kind of seemed to be figuring, finding the strikeout numbers.
He is finding some strikeout numbers. Those are coming up finally, which is a very good sign. But Miami is a decent offense versus righties. 322 WOBA, 181 ISO versus righties, so they can do some damage. Only a 22% combined K rate today. He is our second highest value pitcher and a 3.5 star alert score. So there are some things that like. He's cheap. It's just hard for me to go there with the field going there.
Exactly. D-backs lefty Madison Bumgarner is going up against the Pirates today. 30% owned on DraftKings, 25% on FanDuel, 3.96 ERA, 2.69 opponent average. No, he hasn't done that great the last 2 times out, but those were also against the Rockies and the Braves, so we'll give him, a little bit of a pass there. He is better at home, and the Pirates' 3rd lowest average versus lefties, so against the Pirates, it's a favorable matchup for any pitcher.
Absolutely, and we do have a 5-star alert score on him. Our projection, however, is not that great compared to the consensus projection. Looks like across the industry, everybody else is liking him a lot more than we are. But, makes sense too, though, because Pittsburgh is really bad versus lefties. But Bumgarner is just not that great of a pitcher at this point of his career. Combined K rate is only 20%. The StatCast data is pretty sketchy. Ton of fly balls, some hard contact. With how cheap he is, I understand people going there, but I don't love following the chalk on a meh pitcher.
Given the ownership and the fact that he is kind of a meh pitcher.
It's similar, like I say, I don't like following chalk with meh offenses. I do the same with pitchers. If they're not a great pitcher, I have a real hard time to follow it.
Right. All right, well then let's take a look at some low-owned pitchers for today, see where we can find a little value and leverage. Marlins righty Sandy Alcantara at the Phillies, 25% owned on DraftKings, just 14% on FanDuel. How's the Cy Young favorite?
I don't know.
Low-owned for today.
And he's not low-owned. It's not like he's going super unowned, right. But 14% on FanDuel with his upside is great. 25% on DraftKings, also very good. He's the highest Linestar projected pitcher and the highest value. 3-star alert score, which the alert score isn't the best. It's, kind of average, but it's really just because the Philly offense is decent, but they do strike out a lot. So there's a lot of upside here if Alcantara's on today.
Yeah, I mean, Alcantara's just been phenomenal this season. Second best ERA in baseball right now. And just through his third complete game, which leads the major leagues against the Reds.
And the amount of innings he's pitched compared to everybody else is crazy.
I love watching him.
Yeah, I think he has to be the favorite for the Cy Young right now.
And actually in 3 games versus the Phillies, his numbers have been pretty consistent. He's given up 2 earned runs in each. And last game racked up 12 strikeouts. So you mentioned, the Phillies, they're good. They're kind of hot right now.
Yeah.
However, he's gotten to them before.
It's the upside that I'm talking about.
There you go.
He can definitely do it.
Let's talk about Guardians righty Aaron Savale going up against the Tigers today. 12% on DraftKings, 2.5% on FanDuel. Now, he is coming off the IL. He was out with a ligament sprain in his wrist. 6.17 ERA. Now, this is a game where he might not be fully stretched out.
Yeah.
However, his opponent is the Tigers.
Yeah, and it was between him and Chris Bubich here as far as who I wanted to put up. And really, I was looking for a cheaper guy who we could kind of pivot off the 2 higher-owned cheaper guys. But Savale, 5-star alert rating. It's facing Detroit. We know they're awful versus righties, so it's always a fruitful option to go to the pitcher versus Detroit. 3.96 FIP over the last 5, so he's been better recently. And 23 combined K rate, and he's super cheap. That combined K rate, is higher than Syndergaard and good old Mad Bum.
Yeah.
So
He's 7-0 in 8 career starts against the Tigers with a 1.94 ERA.
Poor Tigers.
Yeah, Detroit's dead last in average versus righties. 5th
Yeah.
highest strikeout percentage against
They
righties as
are
well.
really bad versus righties.
So I like that pick today, Tyler.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a
nice
little
work
sketchy
there.
one, but
Yeah. Sometimes you
work out.
got to take a little risk every now and then.
absolutely. Especially when one of the big GPPs.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Let's win that money today,
Big
guys.
monies.
Let's take a look at team stacks and take a look at where the field is headed for stacks today. No surprise here.
None.
Everyone's going to Coors Field for good reason because we got favorable conditions, 90 degrees, winds blowing out. And for the Cardinals, we know what their bats are capable of going up against Colorado lefty
Yes.
Kyle Freeland. Now, Freeland's kind of an interesting one. 4.56 ERA, 2.72 average, but at home, 5.55 ERA, 3.01 opponent average, so he does worse at home. He randomly has had these really good games.
Yeah.
However, they're usually on the road.
Yes. They usually are on the road. He
So
has not been very good at home. I think he's averaging 40% fantasy points at home. St. Louis is super high owned, though, today. There's 5 guys projected to be over 25% owned.
Wow.
There's 9 guys projected to be over 18% owned. So normally with these high owned stacks, you can still use them and just use a different combo of guys to make it not that high owned. Today, it's very hard to get away from high owned St. Louis guys. So with that being said, though, Freeland hasn't been great. He allows a ton of hard contact and ton of line drives. There's 6.3 Vegas implied total. A lot of things to like about St. Louis.
On the other side of that matchup, the Rockies will be going up against Cardinals righty Jose Quintana. 3.39 ERA for him, 2.42 opponent average. Yeah, great numbers for him. Last game, 1 hit and 6 against the Cubs. Last time at Coors, though, was a rough one for him. Gave up 6 earned runs in 5 innings. So today, Rocky's looking to get after him again. Today, are you liking this particular play?
I am. Quintana hasn't had success in Coors, as you alluded to the last time he was there. Colorado also hits lefties really well. 90 degrees in Coors, wind blowing out. I should have also stated this in the St. Louis part, but this is the best hitting weather on the slate, and you add in the altitude of Coors, makes it very, very appealing. And I don't care how good of a pitcher a guy has been lately, because we've talked about this, routinely, that Quintana has pitched super well this year. However, Coors changes everything. This hitting condition changes everything. I'm not scared to pick on Quintana today. And Colorado is in either BVP numbers, 95 plate attempts. They're hitting 308 with 3 home runs and a 187 ISO. So they've done well against him as well. We have a 5.8 implied total here. And ownership-wise, they are way less owned than St. Louis. Yeah, I almost just left the Cardinals as high owned, just because it is just a crazy discrepancy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, they put up 16 runs yesterday.
They did. I almost had them as one of our low owned stacks yesterday too, and I was just kicking myself when I saw that.
Hey, it happens from time to time.
Yep.
Let's take a look at today's lower owned stacks and see where we can get a little different from the field. We'll talk about the Blue Jays going up against Orioles righty Dean Kramer. He's got a 3.43 ERA, 2.79 opponent average, although he does give up a 3.08 average to righty bats.
Yes.
Coming off a good outing against the Pirates. However, prior to that, hadn't gone past 5 innings in his previous 5 games. Gave up over 3.5 runs per game in that span.
And that was against the Pirates. This is the Blue Jays.
Right. Yes. Highest average versus righties.
Yeah. He hasn't done well against Toronto. 23 plate attempts. They're hitting 368, 4 home runs, a 684 ISO. Now, it is only 23 plate attempts, so it's essentially 1 game of, plate attempts. So can't look too much into it, but they've had his number, 33% hard contact, fairly high average exit velocity. It's good pitcher versus bad pitcher versus good offense, 4.8 implied total. I think you kind of got to like Toronto here, especially with the conditions in Colorado. I'd be shocked if they don't score runs. So I think we're going to need a very potent offense to kind of outscore those two teams.
Well, they're pretty potent offense.
Yep.
Houston Astros. Today they're going up against Rangers righty Glenn Otto. 5.31 ERA, 2.47 opponent average. He's coming off a good game against the White Sox, just 2 earned runs in 6 innings, just 4 hits, 7 strikeouts. Got the L, though. That sucks. Yeah. Could you imagine pitching so well? Oh, man. Rangers.
Yeah.
Didn't help him out there. However, so he's been decent.
He's been decent.
But
he's coming around a little bit.
Yeah, when we're looking at the Astros, this is a really good offense.
The other thing, though, is he's allowing a ton of barreled balls. He's bottom 5% in barrel balls allowed, and you're going to go against a Houston Astros offense that hits the ball really hard and is very good offense. So that's just not a great sign there. 4.6 implied total. Texas bullpen is also awful, as we've been talking about all year. We love to pick on them. And if Houston can get to Otto quickly, the
game over.
The gates are open to really score some runs. So,
all right.
Think they're an interesting little pivot.
So, some good plays there. You can find all the information we just went over at LineStarApp.com. Make sure to lock in your subscription now before football season starts, and that price goes up a little bit. It's $19.99 right now. It will go up to $29.99 at the start of football season. So lock it in now. Save yourself $10 a month. It's a great tool to help you dominate in fantasy, and especially with those ownership numbers. It's what you need to be winning those big contests.
Show do.
Now, let's take a look at our sleeper picks of the day. Our sleeper play of the day for DraftKings is going to be Lars Nootbaar. The Cardinals outfielder is going up against Kyle Freeland at Coors Field. We talked about
big
Coors
surprise.
Field conditions are outrageous. He's $2,000 on DraftKings. Pulling up his player card. Yeah, he's had some pretty good fantasy numbers. Yesterday, 13 points in fantasy, so had a good day for you if you had him on your team. Looking at his player card here, we can see his alert score. 5 out of 5 stars for him when he's blowing out to 10 miles an hour. Freeland, 232nd against lefty bats, giving up about 2 fantasy points per plate attempt in Coors Field, the most hitter-friendly ballpark in the country. So any player basically in this game we're liking for today.
As is everybody.
That's true. The field is definitely going here for today. So keep that in mind as well. Let's take a look at FanDuel Sleeper pick of the day. Again, we're just using Linestar to sort by value. And we can see that it's Arizona outfielder Jake McCarthy coming in at $2,200. He'll be going up against Pirates' Mitch Keller. Pulling up his player card here. 23 points yesterday. How about it? He was 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, and a stolen base. Get it, McCarthy?
Mm-hmm.
All
it's
right.
kind of like you yesterday.
3.5. Oh, yeah. My softball.
Yep.
My softball. I'm starting to get the hang of things, you know? We're getting there. We're getting there. Maybe need to hit the cages, though. It's okay. Yeah. Jake McCarthy doesn't need to. He's been doing well. Scored 15.75 fantasy points per game the past 2 games. He's been awesome. And when you look at the Pittsburgh bullpen, as you can see under this alert score, Pittsburgh bullpen 30th against lefty bats, giving up 5.15 fantasy points per plate attempt.
It's not a good bullpen.
Not a good bullpen. That bodes well for you if you have Jake McCarthy in your lineup at $2,200 on FanDuel. Remember, you can find all of this information on the Linestar app, linestarapp.com. Check it out. Now it's time for our home run calls of the day. Tyler, who's hitting a dinger today?
Well, I'm going to one of my low-owned stacks in the Toronto Blue Jays, Vlad Guerrero Jr. He's hitting .360 with 4 home runs over the last month, and he's facing a pitcher that he has 2 home runs off in 6 at-bats. Sign me up for a Vladdy Daddy bomb.
All right. Vladdy Daddy, let's go.
Vladdy Daddy.
I am going with one of your other stacks for today. That's the Houston Astros. I'm going Jordan Alvarez for a bomb today. Now, he's been in a bit of a dry spell for the home runs. Hasn't hit one in 10 games, but I think he gets back to form today. He's going up against Rangers, Glenn Otto, a righty pitcher. And when you look at Jordan Alvarez, this is a lefty bat that absolutely crushes right-handed pitching. 687 slugging. And 22 of his 30 home runs this season have come against righties. He's back at Minute Maid Park. And I think Jordan Alvarez bringing the juice to Minute Maid Park.
You're gone bomb.
There you go. So we've got our home run calls for today. Remember to retweet our home run call tweet on Twitter for your chance to enter in to win a prize. What are they winning?
You are winning either 2 months of Linestar or $25.
There you go.
Cold hard cash.
And if you're not already, be sure to follow us on Twitter at LineStar app. Now it's time for our prop bets of the day. And yesterday, both Tyler and I hit our prop,
winner,
which means we get to announce a winner today. And Tyler is spinning
a little randomized wheel of names. Oh, and it's
Mike Moore. You are our winner for yesterday because Tyler and I both hit our props on Underdog. Then that means you win $60. Congrats.
$60 for you, Mike Moore. Please either DM us on Twitter or email me at tyler@betfully.com. And
congrats.
We can get
Thanks
you
for
that
playing.
money in your hand.
If you want to be like Mike Moore and be a winner, all you have to do is like, subscribe, and comment on our YouTube channel for today's video, and you're automatically entered to win that $60. And if you want, you can also tail our props. They're available on the Underdog Sports app. Download the Underdog Sports app today. It is legal in most states, and new users who deposit at least $10 can get their deposit matched up to $100. If you use the promo code LineStar, you also get 3 months free of LineStar. Great deal there. So check that out as well. Let's get to today's props. Let's make it 2 in a row.
Let's do
Where are you
it.
headed?
I am going with Baltimore, or with Dean Kramer, under 3.5 Ks. He has done this in 2 of the last 3 starts versus Toronto and in 3 of his last 5 starts total. In those starts, he's also faced way worse offenses than Toronto, and he's giving up a .308 opponent batting average to righties and only striking out 12.6% of righties. With a righty-heavy lineup of Toronto, I think it's going to be really tough for him to rack up some Ks. So we're going under 3.5 Ks.
Going under strikeout today. Like it. I'm going one of my favorite players, Oscar Gonzalez.
SpongeBob.
The SpongeBob is back over 1.5 bases for today. That is at plus 105 in the sports books. So if you're placing it there, some decent value there. He's hit this mark in 3 of the 6 games since he's been back off the IL. And he's actually gotten a hit in every single game, so he's been on fire. He's going up against Detroit righty Drew Hutchinson, who has an ERA over 4, and Gonzalez 842 OPS versus right-handed pitching, nearly 200 points higher than he does against lefties. He just scratches righties, basically. So what I'm saying is, let's fire up the SpongeBob music.
I like it.
That's his walk-up music. Do you remember my song?
I do. Can
My
you
SpongeBob
say it again?
Oscar Gonzalez
You got
remix.
it? You got it ready?
Sure. What is it?
I don't remember what it is.
Who will hit over 1.5 bases today? Oscar Gonzalez. I don't remember the rest, but
I love it. It's
you
a good
get
one.
the idea.
Yeah.
We love Oscar Gonzalez. You know, we appreciate anyone who has some unique walk-up songs like that.
We do.
When they asked him why he has
songs.
that, he just said, the kids love it, and this is a kid's game. And I thought that was awesome.
That's a solid reasoning.
Love it.
Yep. Let's do it.
All right. So that's our plays for today.
We got a good slate.
Great slate for today. Let us know who you're taking in the comments below. Are you celebrating National Lazy Day? Are you spoiling your dog? Are you celebrating National Lion Day? Let us know.
Do it
you
all.
Like those facts about the lions?
Do
We
it
learned
all.
a lot.
Just make sure
we try
you
to educate we try to educate on this show.
just make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below.
Yeah. Thanks for taking care of that.
Yep.
I was going a little off the rails.
Hey, it's all right.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.